Have you ever felt like your life was kidnapped by something invisible? It's not anyone else, but the security system in your own mind. It claims to be for safety, but it is slowly choking your vitality. This animation tells us, a life completely controlled by the brain may seem safe, but in reality, it is heading toward death. At the beginning of the short film, the alarm clock rings, and the brain wakes up the man's muscles to turn it off. It then wakes up the other organs. When the man turns on music in the bathroom, his heart starts to beat to the rhythm, and he dances joyfully. But the brain quickly plays a heart-stopping simulation in his mind, showing the terrifying consequences of dying from an electric shock. It immediately shuts down his heart. The music stops abruptly. The man opens the curtains and checks his watch. The brain calculates the time it will take to get to work. The man leaves for work. On the way, he passes a restaurant and sees delicious food. His stomach wants to enjoy a hearty breakfast, but the brain quickly calculates that the food's high calories would make him unhealthy. So, the brain rejects this future risk. The stomach is very disappointed, and the heart comforts it. So, the man has no choice but to suppress his hunger and hurry away. Passing by the beach, he sees surfers, and his heart becomes excited. The man runs toward the ocean, but the brain imagines sharks opening their bloody mouths as he surfs. The brain forces this thought away and pulls him back to rationality. Next, the heart notices sunglasses at a stall. When the man approaches the stall to try them on, the brain begins to worry that the store clerk will mock him, and his body will face danger again. So, the brain stops him. As the man approaches the company, his heart starts to rebel. The brain gets angry, knowing that if the man doesn't go to work, he will be fired, and without money, he will freeze to death. Finally, the man arrives at his desk on time, but the boring work makes his heart feel exhausted. The brain looks around and sees that everyone else works lifelessly, like programmed robots. It realizes that if this continues, the man will only work until he is old, unable to do anything, and ultimately die alone. Just then, the alarm clock interrupts, and all the colleagues take out their lunch. The brain hands control over to the heart. The man buys a high-calorie meal. When he tries on the sunglasses, the store clerk gives him a friendly compliment. He buys the sunglasses and runs to the beach, even though he is knocked over by waves and gets soaked. But he is extremely happy. It turns out that risks can be endured, and happiness is what is truly precious. When he returns to his desk, the work hasn't changed, but his inner self has completely transformed. He plays vibrant music on the dull keyboard, and this energy even spreads to his robotic colleagues, who also release their instincts. True freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about giving your heart the ability to run within the boundaries of reason, even for a brief moment. Next time you feel inner struggle, ask yourself, is my brain protecting me from death, or is it stopping me from truly living? Remember, the greatest risk is living a life with no risk at all.